Hey everybody, welcome to a fondling of The Witch and the 100th Night. Now this is a title that's giving me a bit of trouble. Technical issues actually. I think it's an isolated incident, but regardless, it did happen, and so I'm obligated to talk about it. What happened is that the game, when I originally installed it and started playing it, would often crash right out of the game into the into the XMB. And given that this is a game that kind of rewards you for not saving often by making it as far into the dungeon as you can, it made progress very difficult to say the least. So I contacted the PR for Nisa, and they suggested I basically uninstall the game, re-download and install the game again. And I had an issue with doing that. I uninstalled the game, I downloaded it, I installed it, and the installation froze at 46% for... Basically, I left it alone for like hours, and it was frozen, so I had to do a forced shutdown. And then I deleted the installation file again, re-downloaded it, reinstalled it again. And as I was doing that, I tried to erase the corrupted data that was taking up about 1.5 gigabytes of space on my hard drive. And while I was doing that, the game or the system locked again. I left it alone for 4 hours or so. And finally, I decided to do another force shutdown. And it happened that apparently there was a fatal error and I had to format the hard drive. Given I had like 340 gigs of games on this hard drive, I was pretty annoyed to say the least. But either way, I finally got everything, well not everything, but this game re-downloaded and installed. And it seems to be working fine. I haven't had a crash. So I guess that fixed it. But I think it's an isolated incident because I think I haven't read of this happening anywhere else from other reviews or any other impressions that I could see. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt, but it did happen, so keep that in mind. Alright, actually going into the game itself, this is a new game coming out, created by, I believe, Nippon Ichi. And I'm about 3 chapters into this game so far, and I'm going to show you some of the mechanics of the game and what it's all about. These tips are helpful, actually. While there is a decent length tutorial level, the game has a lot of different mechanics and content that you have to learn to be successful with the game. My first big issue with the game is, I guess, the graphics. Yes, the capture device that I'm using isn't very good, and it's only capturing at a maximum of 480p. But even at the maximum maximum resolution, this game looks kind of muddy. It's not a very pleasant to look at game, and that's unfortunate. Get that treasure chest. And the other big problem with the game that I have is the camera. Just look at this camera. Why would you? And this is the lowest I can go with the camera. And you see how these trees and walls with like black nothingness are constantly blocking my view. Even when controlled properly, it's very difficult because you end up getting into this location when there's a lot of trees and everything, and you can't even see what you're fighting sometimes. And given that this is kind of an action RPG game, that's almost a fatal flaw. Because if you can't see what you're doing, then you can't make the moves that you want, you get hit, and it really screws with the game. And that's a big problem. I feel like the perspective of the game could have been reworked maybe into a lower perspective, right? So you don't have to deal with these trees. Or maybe just make these trees without branches, I guess. I guess trees with branches don't look as good, but you know, what's more important, to get the gameplay or just some foliage of some ugly looking trees? Just fighting some enemies, using some combo attacks and dodge moves. That grade up means that in this... I was put to sleep. Fantastic. Grade means that I just earned a point to spend in this area in order to kind of temporarily level up my character or give myself a couple of unique little buffs while I'm in this zone. And I'll go into a little bit more detail on how the game works in that area. But I gotta say, it's pretty complex. It's difficult to lay it all out on the line. You'd have to kind of play it and see for yourself. But at the same time, it does an okay job of laying down what you need to do, I suppose. But I do have some other issues with this game. As you can see, there is a G-cal meter on the upper left corner that keeps counting down. And that's something akin to like my, I guess, endurance meter. Yeah, as long as that has numbers in it, or that's not completely empty, I'm able to build up my stamina, my health goes up over time, I get a lot of other benefits, and even if I die, it takes a chunk of the G-cal, and I'm sent back to a place I was before, like a checkpoint of some kind. But in this game, once you run out, then you're kind of screwed. And you should probably have to go back to an area. And this is what I'm talking about. In the pillar of focus, I'm able to distribute the grade points that I've learned. And I've gotten 3 so far. I'm gonna go ahead and use a G-cal recovery to recover some of the G-cal. I think it says 85.13, but it's totally not 85.13. I'm guessing it's like 8.5 or something, because I was at like 80 or something. But either way, it gives you 10%, so the higher your G-cal was when you use this, the better. I'm gonna put a point into attack, because why not? Oh, no, it refilled to 85 point that. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. And let's go into a bit of the story bits. If you're trying to avoid spoilers at all costs, you should stop watching now, I suppose, because I want to show off some of the voice acting and the elements of the story, which I think are the better parts of this game. Unfortunately, there was no voice acting in this part. That's too bad. But that's Metalia, the heroine of this game. I did finger quotation marks because she is not actually a hero. She's actually a quite malicious, devilish, evil wizard person, mage. Yes, that's very concise and to the point. But anyway, yeah, she basically summons you, the 100 Knight. Well, that's the name that she gave you. She summons you to do her bidding, to try to overwhelm the world with her swampland. Kind of fill the whole world with swamp. Destroy forests, destroy icelands, and any kind of territory. And, hey, look, I'm getting a new spell thing. More tutorial. It will be destroyed and the odds of item drop will be quite high. Okay, so this is the way I get items. There are some territorial wars going on between the various witches of the land. And Metalia is the swamp witch. And it appears that she only has her powers in the swamp, so she wants to expand her territory as much as possible. And since she can't leave the land, she summons the... I'm not stepping on that, you crazy. She wants to... Although it's kind of tempting. She wants to use you as a mindless follower to do her bidding. And that's exactly what you will do. You don't have much of a choice in the matter. You're kind of a mute, mindless puppet of of the witch. And even though you do have a couple of things you can do to change or kind of respond differently to her commands, it hasn't changed much as far as the actual game goes from what I've seen. The homing attack that I'm using is one of my favorite attacks because, you know, you can attack from afar, it does fairly good damage, and it tracks. So there's really no reason not to use it. But once there aren't too many left, I'll use the full combo. Another part of the game that I like and dislike at the same time is the attack system of 100 Knights. Basically, the way the combat works is that you slot in these weapons and they become your attacks. The first strike of the square button will become the frog staff. The second hit followed by the first one will be the Vile Knights, and then the blue sword, the Woo Blue Sword, and the simple hammer. I set it like this. These are the attacks that I set up, so if I press square 5 times, I'm gonna do all these attacks in sequence with these various weapons and end on the simple hammer, which is set to get 2 times the bonus because of these types that I've set up. That kind of goes 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're in sequence. But while I kind of like this flexibility of attacks, the problem is a lot of the enemies have these weaknesses, right? Some are weak to magic, like the frog staff. Some are weak to swords and piercing damage, and some are weak to these hammers and these blunt damage. But at the same time, as you can see, in order to get the blunt hit, I need to do my attack 5 times and hit him with the last one, while the other 4 attacks being completely ineffective. Well, not completely. It'll do very, very little damage, but sometimes it's entirely ineffective. So that's kind of annoying. So am I supposed to change around my weapons every single time I come across an enemy? The best way to go, I suppose, is to have a magic, sword, and hammer as the first 3 slots. But that's not even ideal either, because in that way you're not able to, unless you have the right weapon, you're not able to chain it for the extra damage. And even so, having to use an attack 3 times to get that one attack that's effective seems kind of like a waste to me. I feel like while this has some kind of potential and flexibility on what you want to do, being set to the button presses makes it very difficult to use. I feel like you should be able to skip right to the 5th attack or skip right to the 3rd attack as your first attack from the very beginning by holding down a certain button or something. But that's yet another problem, because the game has so many little elements to it, like mechanical elements to it, that it becomes very difficult to keep everything in line. The yellow bar around the character is the stamina bar. Once that is depleted, then I can no longer attack. So I need to be careful. That's a mystical dodge. I'm not sure if it's magical or mystical or whatever. But if I dodge right before an enemy attack hits me, then I get that. And it's funny because they actually didn't explain that in the tutorial. Oh, Conqueror Sword 3. That's exciting. Well, why don't we take a look at the weapon and see what it is. Maybe it's really good. Conqueror Sword. Oh, I can just go into the sword. There we go. Huh. I swore it was a sword, wasn't it? A sword? What's going on here? Did I not pick it up? Oh. Oh, I get it. It's in my stomach. Yet another part of the element of the game that I don't really like. Yeah, well, can't really use any of it. Oh, that's a very powerful sword. I would love to use that. But unfortunately, it's within the stomach of the 100 Knight, and it's not accessible to me until I go back to town. And that's a phone call, and I'm not picking it up, because recording a video and stuff like that. And yes, I'm very professional. I turn all my electronic devices off before I do these things, you know. Indeed. Okay, so let's see. So I can't use that, so I have to go back to town. And also, you don't level up while you're in the field either. You have those temporary level up things using the grade point, but the experience that you earn gets tallied up at the very end of the well, when you leave the area, and then you can use it. And that becomes very difficult. Or rather, it's not a matter of being difficult. It feels like it's just another, added mechanic that really doesn't synergize all that well with everything else in between. I don't know. Maybe they thought, oh, Dark Souls is popular. We should make the game more like Dark Souls and put some elements of it. I don't know. But either way, as you can see, this tree is just in my way. And it just, And there are areas that are filled with a lot more trees than even this too, and it's quite such a pain. Yeah, at least I'm getting some good items out of it. My full attack does a lot of damage. Let's see, but my G-Cal is starting to go a little low. Oh, that's a new enemy. Wow, that's a very ineffective. Oh, but alright, let's just get into it. Okay. As you saw, my magic was ineffective, so I was basically forced to either A, redo my entire moveset to... Why is that thing drawing fire? I don't even know what that did. I think it made some... Yeah, I guess it was a sleep trap thing, and I was able to dodge it before the effect kicked in. A lot of guesswork. The dodge move is very handy to use, certainly. I have to manage my stamina a bit, and I like that part of this game. It adds a bit of strategy in what would otherwise be a mindless button pressing fest. Can't run? Okay, you can run. Up. I don't know where that sound is coming from. Ah, okay, it's a pillar. Pillars serve as checkpoints. I guess you could kind of say it like they're bonfires. I really want to be playing Dark Souls 2 right now. But let's see. Okay, I'll kill these guys, and then I'm gonna use the bonfire. I mean, the pillar, and distribute some great points. Yay! First, as is the case with everything in the game, you have to beat it down open. That green goo is part of the swampland that Metalia wants to spread. And it allows me to teleport to these areas, which is nice. I'm in dire need of some G-Cal. So 6 is 6. So it increases by 10% across the board. Okay, never mind. I thought it was a 10% of the remaining amount, but it's just basically 10% every single time. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. That's fine. Attack and defense to make myself a little beefier. It looks like there's a trap thing over there, but I don't care for it. Let's move on and hope for a bit of a story element, because that's the part of the game I like. Hey, look, it's a town area. Metalia curses a lot. I think her favorite curses are fucking whore, bitch. She hasn't said the C word yet, but I figure she'll break it out eventually. But she is not a very nice person. But she has had some things happen to her in the past that have changed her, I guess, to say it lightly. And yeah, I guess that's one of the parts of the game that's interesting to figure out what made Metalia this way and the truth about her existence. But she is an interesting character, at least. Although not a pleasant one, certainly. And the 100 Knight himself is a blank slate for you to kind of put your own will upon, but you don't really have that many choices. Was that like an airship or something? In these town areas, I am able to, I guess I could beat that thing up there. Oh, wait. Oh. I thought it was just an enemy, but it's a townsperson thing. Let's see. I can choose to raid the village. Raid the house for an item, or just visit it, which accomplishes absolutely nothing unless it's a very special house. So these houses are, in fact, actually just treasure chests that, you get over time, which isn't as exciting as the whole raiding thing would have you believe at the beginning. It's unfortunate. Kind of a missed opportunity, if you ask me. And there's another mechanic in the game. As I said, this game is just a virus and Knight's Lance. Let's visit the shop first and see what they sell. It's just mechanics on top of mechanics on top of mechanics that are mechanics. There's no shortage of things. And one of them is karma. Now, all these items are useless. And basically, what happens is that 100 Knight has a karma. I have 49 right now. And the higher that is, that means I have wronged more people. I have raided too many houses, I have attacked too many NPCs, and people don't like you if you have too much karma. Too much bad karma, I suppose. And what they do is that they react to you differently by either refusing to talk to you, giving you a terrible price on items. Like, you could... They might try to get like 100% more, if I don't move. No, I still have to. While I do this, my GKL is slowly going down. So it kind of helps that if you keep your karma low, so you get good prices and items. But at the same time, it's nice to get free items too, right? So let's go ahead and get this lance from these guys. And this is just basically a factor of take that, sexy owner. Basically, since I'm level 16 and that house was rated at level 9 or 10, it was basically like a 100% chance that I was gonna dominate that house. That I wasn't even worried, honestly. Crunchy garlic, I don't really need that. So when I come across an item that seems interesting to me, I'll dominate the house. And these are one of the special chests that sometimes have very good items in them. Let's see what I get. Dark fragment? I have no idea what that does, or what it is. Another magical ability, I guess. These are the magical abilities. Trap capture type? Interesting. I've only had to use that once so far, as in sexy simple hammer. Give me that simple. You can see my butt. That's right. You die when you're killed. At least I'm getting some good items off of this place. I opened up a new place, and looks like a dead end. I can check the map to see how much of the map that I've explored and how much I've ignored. Well, it's a fairly big area. Oh, enemies. Oh, level 29. Boy. Yeah, I have like 0% chance of winning that raid, so I'm just gonna go ahead and visit them. See if they have anything good for sale. Probably not. Nah, not really. Bunch of rubbish. Let's continue on with the story then. I was really hoping to show off some of the voice acting, but this part of the game doesn't have much. That's really unfortunate because the game started out almost fully voiced, except for very small sections. So, yep, she feels a pillar. That's my mission, to break open all the pillars and spread the swampland. Yep, there she goes. And she also has a very sarcastically charming butler. 65% GCal. Oh, yeah, I could probably take whatever they throw at me. There's okay, a pillar right here. That's good. Do I have any grade points left? I have one. I'll do another GCal. The bonus points up will allow me to get these bonuses for finishing the level with higher points. But as you can see, they're not really that good. They're just items that I can sell or consumable recovery items, so I'm not too concerned.
Pillar of Temperance is ahead. Just kick the Korrigan aside and get moving, 100 Knight.
She really doesn't care about anything. And, you know, the 100 Knight obeys.
Please wait. Please don't go. Oh no. Master Valentine is going to yell at us for this. Everyone, we gotta move. Our guardian is on its way.
Time for a boss fight. Maybe. And the game has been very easy thus far. I haven't had any trouble. Oh. Interesting.
Oh, that's right. We have a guardian.
They brought out quite the bruiser to greet us.
Hey, where's the intruder?
Right in front of you. Well, in front of your feet, so I guess that's right there.
What? This little thing? I guess I don't really care.
I hate Mondays.
Duchess will be here to witness my strength like you said, right?
You're the Pillar's protector. You've defeated so many intruders, so we know you'll win this one too.
We'll see about that.
Come on, please hurry and get rid of it. Yes, we're all out of time.
Let's make this one into a nice souvenir to give to our great Duchess.
The music is okay. It's very reminiscent of the music in the... Whoa. Mystical dodge, baby. And there's a guard meter right there. And I'll just... Kinda weak, actually. Is that the best you got? The invincibility frames on the dodge is a little too good. At least land a hit on me, guy. Come on. Oh, he hit me once. He hit me twice. Congratulations on all your success. I let him hit me. I felt bad, you know. Cause you hate to see that kind of thing happen. You see. As you can see, I have these facets too. They have different stat growth, as in, you know, they have different like number of stats that go up depending on my level. Oh, I got 2 Conqueror Sword. Neat. And you get all these items and such. It's good. I think the items and stuff like that is fine, except for the whole stomach thing. I think yet another unnecessary part of the element. But there are other mechanics like consume, where you can bring. Oh, more story.
Did I? This little thing.
Man, I just beat Dark Souls 2 yesterday. You're nothing. Ha! Master Pillar.
Do it, 100 Knight!
Oh.
Yes! The swamp spreads yet again! Amazing. I feel so amazingly strong.
Ruh-roh, big problem. This is a big problem.
I see. I think I get it. To feel the pillar's overflowing power, both people and beasts migrate to it naturally. And then, the area near the pillar becomes a gathering spot for them. The pillar must choose the strongest among them as its protector, giving it enough strength to protect it. But it's a shallow tactic reserved for the weak. No protector it picks will ever be able to stop me. Huh?
What do we do? There's no time left.
What are these idiots afraid of? Time this, time that? What's their deal?
It's time. Master Valentine is coming back. We have no idea what'll happen to us.
Duchess of Flowers. Maybe I still have some luck.
Let's see what all the fuss is.
Master Valentine, welcome back. Woohoo! Welcome home.
Thank you for this cordial reception. Oh, and what is going on over here? It would seem you have all neglected to properly welcome our guests, unless you wish to smear dirt on the Duchess of Flowers' face.
We're so sorry. Oh no!
Huh. So that's her.
Master, Duchess Valentine.
Is it Valentine or Valentine?
This stronghold's pillar chose me. I am its protector, and your shield, Master Valentine.
Huh? That thing can still speak? Yo, 100 Knight. Your killing blows are complete failures.
Please give me your power. Help me to protect you.
5e-Buck says that she kills him and the rest of the little guys somehow. Maybe changes them into flowers or something.
Like those you gave to that tree fairy. I wish to be strong enough to become the champion of Tatara Desert. In your name, the Great Witch, please entrust your powers to me.
A promise using my own name, is it? Very well. I will fulfill the promise you speak of.
Truly?
A duchess does not gain the respect of her peers through deceit. Come closer. I cannot give you my love from there. or the Oath's kiss to grant you the power you so desire.
Oh, you're gonna wish I killed you,
Unless
guy.
you've changed your mind. Are you scared?
What?
Called it. Ha! What did I say?
A witch's oath is a fickle thing, but I will promise to show my love in my own way. No matter how many times you win, one defeat means you have failed as a protector. Boring fool. Defeat means death. At least become a flower and bring some color to this land as your meaningless life. Corrigan, you lot handle the rest.
Yes, yes, right away.
Hey, you done with that farce? Ignoring us. Stupid. Is this how you show off how confident you are, Duchess of whatever?
Is that you? The trifling little witch who is encroaching on my territory. So a cute witch like yourself came all this way. I would estimate you are barely over 100 years old. Am I right?
Huh?
Oh, no need to actually answer. Compared to my sour age, you are still young and sweet. I know. Corrigan, bring us something sweet.
Yes, right away.
Not quite Prinnies. Come on, dude.
I could just have something appear by using a spell. But would that not seem ever so tasteless? In any case, I do not believe we have had the pleasure. What is your name?
And if you're wondering why it's taking me so long to read these things, it's because I'm not reading it, I'm just listening for it. When I enjoy the voice acting of a game, I just let it play
I
out.
don't normally tell people just because they ask, but listen up. Get ready to be stunned.
They took the time and effort to record it, so I'll take the time and effort to listen to it. If it's good,
I am the
that is.
notorious swamp witch Metalia.
Swamp witch. Was there really a witch like that?
The greatest mystery of all is how Metalia's bra piece manages to stay on.
Actually, are you even at Walpurgis? The city where all witches gather annually for a nighttime soiree.
Nighttime soiree at Walpurgis?
I see. A half-baked witch like you must not have even been invited. That is perfectly fine. A half-baked witch does not even warrant my passing interest. Have some sweets and go back to your swamp. As for the damage to my lands, I'll ignore it due to your naivete.
What a pompous attitude. You really think you can mock me, you damn whore of a witch?
There she goes.
If you wish to speak with me as an equal, at least get an invite to Walpurgis before pestering me. Although, I do not loathe rebellious fools like yourself. How about this? If you agree to be my nighttime attendant, I will think about extending an invitation.
Is that all you got to say?
The sweet young girl has such a sour tongue. Oh, I would commend you for dodging that. But do you really think you evaded a simple direct attack?
Huh? Fun of me again. You stay right there!
Your skills fail to make you an adequate playmate. I've had enough entertainment for one day. You cannot even tell me what is happening to yourself, can you?
What?
It seems you decided to go against me about 1,000 years too early. You faux witch. We are leaving, Corrigan.
Yes, Master!
Hey! Wait, damn it! Follow them, 100 Knight! Now!
I'm gonna tell ya. Got turned into a flower monster. I think achievements or trophies that you just get by playing the game itself is kind of unnecessary. The laziest of the trophies or achievements, so to speak. But well, they're in here. I'll save up and call it with some final impressions, I suppose. This ought to be good. And there is the butler. Oh, she's back. He's the most sarcastic sounding character in a video game I've ever heard. He's great. I like the characters mostly, and the dialogue is entertaining. The story is pretty intriguing. I think that's the best part of the game so far that I can tell. The combat is pretty. It has a lot of depth to it. Well, not so much depth, I suppose. Intricacies. There's a lot of things about it that you can do, but I don't think it's balanced properly well. And the mechanics that kind of have these layers on top of each other don't really add to something that's greater than the individual parts, and that's kind of unfortunate because I think the game has a lot of little good ideas, but from the side of just actually playing it, it feels a little bit like a chore. It gets old a little fast, and while gaining levels and finding new equipment and items to use has its own addictive nature, it's not all that much fun to play. But I do want to keep playing for the sake of the story to see where it goes. So, like I said, that is the strongest part. But yeah, I think I'll just cut it off here. Well, that was that was a nice little look at the Witch and the 100th Knight. I think this game is coming out on the 25th. I probably should have looked that up before I made this video, but yes, and it'll be out in stores on the 25th. So that's what, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday, I guess. Yeah, irrelevant information. But anyway, well, thanks for watching.